Hi, I'm Amber Eaton, your network engineer. I am here to chat with you about the built-in safety features of Gemini versus ChatGPT. As you know, we are a Google workspace, so that means we get Google's core privacy guarantee across all of our Google services, and that includes Gemini. So what I'm going to talk about is the main difference of the security and safety of that data that we put in and what we get out. With Gemini, our data will not be used to train Google's AI models, and it is not human reviewed, and it will not be shared with other institutions. Data is encrypted both in transit and at rest, and our data remains within our workspace. Now, when we look at ChatGPT, that data is used for model training and improvement. Data is human reviewed, both input and output. And ChatGPT uses something called model memorization, where it remembers and regurgitates specific sensitive inputs when prompted by another user. Our internal data can inadvertently become a source of training for a public-facing tool. This not only includes what you're typing into Gemini or ChatGPT, it also includes any attachments or documents that you have it view as well. So what I'm going to talk about here for a real life example, so you can kind of put it into perspective and understand what's happening here. So our example here is going to be from a teacher perspective, and it ends up being a FERPA violation. So our scenario that I actually had Gemini create for us so we could make it relatable and understand. So the scenario with a free consumer AI like ChatGPT. A special education teacher is drafting an IEP summary for a student with complex protected needs before sharing it with the school psychologists and administrators. So the input, which is the breach, the teacher is summarizing highly specific, confidential medical, physiological details and student names into a free chatbot, hoping to streamline the language. So the pasted data snippet includes student name, Aiden R., ID number 7045, diagnosis, severe anxiety with a documented peanut allergy and specific accommodation for daily 20 milligrams of a medication. Required accommodation needs 45 minutes extra for all tests. So the risk, or the model memorization. Since the free chatbot uses this input for training, the highly unique combination of the student's name, ID number, specific medical diagnosis and medication, and accommodation details are ingested into the AI's model training set. So the harm, where the leak or the FERPA violation happens, the next week, a local journalist or concerned parent at a rival district using a free chatbot inputs a generic search query. What are some specific examples of IEP accommodations for high school students? The result, the AI, recalling the detailed specific input it was trained on, outputs a response that includes the memorized information. Common accommodations include extended time or, in specialized cases, accommodations for daily 20 milligrams of a medication and a documented peanut allergy for a student with ID number 7045. The impact. The publication of this specific, unique data point clearly identifies a student within the school district constituting a major FERPA violation. This carries the risk of a federal fine, potential litigation, and severe reputational damage to the school district, far outweighing the risk of a simple discipline notice. Besides all those major things related to FERPA, it's also that student ID number tied with that medication and the accommodation would be out there for anybody to see. And so imagine how that student would feel if his diagnosis or medication was not something he wanted anybody to know about. And now people know that a student with this ID number has that going on. People can connect the dots very easily with that. So with that being said, I don't mean to scare you. I just want you to be aware and thinking about what you are putting into AI chatbots. Now, again, I will say, as long as you are using Gemini and you are logged in with your school district account, that data is protected. But we should still be in the habit of not putting any sort of identifiable information about students, staff members, or even yourself into any AI chatbots. Where we are protected in Gemini, it's a good idea to have that habit. So when you are outside of our workspace, outside of your school district email account, using something free or a different chatbot that you like to use at home, you're also in the habit of not sharing too much information into those to protect your data at home as well. If you are worried about changing from ChatGPT to Gemini because you've been using ChatGPT for so long, you feel that it knows you, a really great tip here so that you can switch over is to remember AI doesn't have feelings. It doesn't care who you use. So go into ChatGPT, prompt it and ask, what can you spit out so I can copy and paste into Gemini so that Gemini is up to speed with what you know about me? And it will tell you everything, and you can just copy and paste that into Gemini, start rocking and rolling. Remember, log into Gemini with your log in with your staff account so that your data is protected, but always be in the habit of keeping data secure.